Welcome back to ABCGH Spoilers channel. Today we embark on a deep dive into the tangled web of secrets, betrayals, and high-stakes drama swirling around Sonny Corinthos, Natalia Ramirez, and the ever-scheming Jen Sidwell. Buckle up as we unravel the latest developments and explore the hidden motives that could reshape Port Charles forever. Sidwell's calculated moves and the power of information. Jen Sidwell's recent acquisition of Sonny's medical secrets from Natalia Ramirez has sent shockwaves through the corridors of Port Charles. With Sidwell's reputation for wielding influence and orchestrating chaos, the implications of his newfound knowledge are immense. Sidwell is not just a businessman, he's a master manipulator, adept at leveraging secrets for personal gain. In the world of General Hospital, information is currency, and Sidwell's pockets are suddenly full. Imagine Sidwell, seated in his opulent office, plotting his next move. He could easily bribe or threaten someone on Sonny's medical team, exploiting the vulnerabilities of those desperate for a quick payday or seeking to settle old scores. The precedent set by Cyrus Renault's digital IS-fueled schemes lingers in the background, a reminder that even the most secure environments are susceptible to sabotage. Sidwell's connections run deep, and his willingness to exploit them knows no bounds. But what if Sidwell's ambitions stretch beyond mere sabotage? He might see Sonny's impending surgery as the perfect opportunity to destabilize the Corinthos empire, creating a power vacuum ripe for exploitation. The ripple effects could extend far beyond the operating room, with Sonny's enemies circling and allies scrambling to maintain order. Natalia Set's confession and the domino effect. Natalia Ramirez's decision to reveal Sonny's heart surgery plans to Sidwell is more than a simple lapse in judgment. It's a pivotal moment that could alter the fate of multiple characters. Natalia, haunted by her past with Sidwell and torn between loyalty and fear, finds herself ensnared in a dangerous game. Her confession is not just a personal betrayal, it's a catalyst for chaos. In a dramatic confrontation, Natalia admits to Sonny that Sidwell is her ex-husband, shattering the fragile trust between them. The revelation sends Sonny reeling, forcing him to reevaluate his alliances and question the motives of those closest to him. Natalia's relationship with her son Marco further complicates matters, as she suspects he may be entangled in Sidwell's machinations. The family drama unfolds against a backdrop of corporate intrigue and criminal ambition, blurring the lines between personal and professional loyalty. Natalia's actions also ignite tensions at deception, where her secret threatens to upend business relationships and spark fierce confrontations. Lucy Coe's explosive reaction to the news underscores the far-reaching consequences of Natalia's loose lips, leaving the future of deception hanging in the balance. Sonny Sepp's health crisis, a catalyst for upheaval. Sonny Corinthos' upcoming heart surgery is more than a medical event, it's a flashpoint for drama, suspense, and shifting power dynamics. As Sonny prepares for the high-stakes procedure in Los Angeles, the specter of sabotage looms large. Sidwell's knowledge of the surgery's timing and details gives him a dangerous advantage, raising the stakes for everyone involved. Carly Spencer's decision to accompany Sonny to LA adds an emotional layer to the unfolding crisis. Her presence signals the gravity of the situation and hints at the potential for heart-wrenching developments. Carly's fears are palpable, and her reactions could shape the narrative as Sonny's fate hangs in the balance. The possibility of a surgical mishap, whether orchestrated by Sidwell or the result of unforeseen complications, opens the door to a multitude of dramatic outcomes. Sonny could survive but face a prolonged recovery, or he might slip into a coma, leaving Port Charles vulnerable to Sidwell's ambitions. The uncertainty surrounding Sonny's condition creates an atmosphere of tension and anticipation, keeping viewers on the edge of their seats. The ripple effect: allies, enemies, and unanswered questions. The fallout from Natalia's confession and Sidwell's scheming extends far beyond the central trio. Jason Morgan, Maxie Jones, and the Deception team find themselves drawn into the conflict, forced to navigate shifting loyalties and unexpected alliances. Jason's confrontation with Sasha Gilmore Corbin over her ties to Sidwell highlights the complex web of relationships that define Port Charles. Meanwhile, Jordan Ashford's decision to end her romance with Isaiah Gannon in favor of a high-powered role with Sidwell raises questions about her true motives and the potential for further intrigue. The boundaries between personal ambition and ethical responsibility blur as characters make difficult choices in pursuit of their goals. The question of Marco Rio's involvement in his father's schemes adds another layer of mystery. Is Marco acting as Sidwell's agent, gathering intelligence and positioning himself for a power grab? Or is he an unwitting pawn, caught between his parents' conflicting agendas? The answers remain elusive, fueling speculation and setting the stage for future revelations. Invented analysis, Port Charles as a chessboard. If we view Port Charles as a grand chessboard, every character becomes a piece in a high-stakes game of strategy and deception. Sidwell, the cunning kingpin, moves his pawns, Natalia, Marco, and the deception crew with calculated precision. Sonny, the embattled king, must anticipate threats from all sides, relying on his knights and queens, Carly, Jason, and others, to shield him from danger. The surgical suite becomes the battlefield, with doctors and nurses as potential double agents. A single misstep, a misplaced scalpel, a tainted IV could tip the balance of power. Meanwhile, the media and rival factions stand ready to exploit any sign of weakness, eager to claim a piece of Sonny's empire. This metaphorical chess match is defined by shifting alliances, hidden agendas, and the ever-present threat of betrayal. The outcome is uncertain, and every move carries the risk of unintended consequences. Speculative future. What's next for Sonny and Sidwell? Looking ahead, the stage is set for a dramatic escalation in the feud between Sonny and Sidwell. If Sidwell succeeds in sabotaging Sonny's surgery, the repercussions could be catastrophic not just for Sonny, but for everyone connected to him. Port Charles could descend into chaos, with old enemies resurfacing and new alliances forming in the wake of Sonny's incapacitation. Alternatively, Sonny's survival could mark the beginning of a new chapter, one defined by vengeance, redemption, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Natalia's role in the unfolding drama remains uncertain. She could seek redemption by exposing Sidwell's schemes, or she might double down on her allegiance to her ex-husband, setting the stage for further conflict. One thing is certain, the battle for control of Port Charles is far from over. As secrets unravel and loyalties are tested, the residents of General Hospital must navigate a treacherous landscape, where every decision could mean the difference between triumph and tragedy. In summary, the latest developments in General Hospital offer a masterclass in suspense, intrigue, and emotional complexity. Sidwell's acquisition of Sonny's medical secrets, Natalia's pivotal confession, and the looming health crisis converge to create a perfect storm of drama. With the future of Port Charles hanging in the balance, fans can expect more twists, betrayals, and shocking revelations in the episodes to come. Next, we're diving deep into the tangled web of secrets, alliances, and betrayals swirling around Nina Reeves, Drew Kane, Willow Corinthos, and the rest of Port Charles. Buckle up, because the drama is about to take center stage in ways you've never imagined. A brewing alliance, grandmothers unite against Drew. Recent developments have thrown the Port Charles matriarchs into an unexpected partnership. Nina Reeves, fueled by a desperate need to protect her daughter Willow and her grandchildren, finds herself eyeing an alliance with none other than Carly Spencer. Traditionally bitter adversaries, these two grandmothers are now united by a common goal, preventing Drew Kane from tightening his grip on Willow and the children. With Drew contemplating a move to Washington for his congressional term, Nina fears he's orchestrating a scenario that will isolate Willow and her kids, leaving Nina powerless to intervene. This looming threat prompts Nina to seek backup, and with Carly's return to town, the stage is set for a formidable partnership that could reshape the family dynamics in Port Charles. Not only does this alliance promise fireworks, but it also highlights a recurring theme in soap operas: the enemy of my enemy is my friend. The evolution of Nina and Carly's relationship, from sworn enemies to reluctant collaborators, adds a rich layer of complexity to the narrative, underscoring how shifting allegiances can upend even the most entrenched rivalries. Carly and Nina, from feud to fragile truce. Carly Spencer and Nina Reeves have a long, storied history of animosity. Their feud, once fueled by betrayals and heartbreak, has simmered in recent months, especially after Nina's divorce from Sonny Corinthos. But as Drew's actions become increasingly bold and controlling, both women find themselves reevaluating their priorities. Carly, ever the protector of her family, is now more concerned than ever about Drew's intentions, especially after his abrupt pivot away from her and toward Nina. Their former passionate hatred has, in a twist worthy of any classic soap, morphed into a shared determination to safeguard their grandchildren's future. This transformation is emblematic of the soap opera genre, where alliances are fluid and yesterday's adversaries can become today's allies. The tension between Carly and Nina remains palpable, but their willingness to join forces speaks volumes about the stakes at play. The fate of Wiley and Amelia and the well-being of Willow hang in the balance as these two powerful women set aside personal grievances for a greater cause. Drew's dangerous game, manipulation, and legal maneuvers. At the heart of the storm is Drew Kane, whose recent actions have sent shockwaves through Port Charles. By presenting Willow with legal guardian papers and urging her to sign away her children's future, Drew has positioned himself as both protector and potential usurper. His move, ostensibly to ensure the children's safety should anything happen to Willow, is viewed by many, especially Nina, as a calculated power grab. The question lingers, is Drew truly acting in Willow's best interests, or is he driven by a deeper, more self-serving agenda? Drew's history of rivalry with Nina, compounded by their complicated romantic entanglements, only adds fuel to the fire. His willingness to manipulate legal documents and leverage his relationships for personal gain paints a picture of a man who will stop at nothing to maintain control. The specter of a custody battle looms large, and the possibility that Drew's actions could backfire, jeopardizing Willow's chances of keeping her children, cannot be ignored. Nina's desperation, secrets, schemes, and a risky heist. Nina's response to Drew's machinations is nothing short of dramatic. Driven by fear and a fierce maternal instinct, she contemplates drastic measures, including stealing and destroying the legal guardian papers Drew has so carefully orchestrated. Armed with the combination to Drew's safe, Nina considers a covert operation to eliminate the threat before it can materialize in court. The stakes are high if caught. Nina risks not only legal repercussions, but also the complete loss of trust from Willow. But Nina's motivations are layered. Beyond her protective instincts, she harbors lingering feelings for Drew, feelings that complicate her every move. Her past romantic involvement with him, still a closely guarded secret, casts a shadow over her actions. If this secret affair were to come to light, it could shatter her relationship with Willow and upend the fragile alliances she's worked so hard to build. Willow's dilemma, torn between loyalty and self-preservation. Caught in the crossfire is Willow Corinthos, whose trust in Drew is being tested like never before. Initially persuaded by Drew's assurances, Willow signs the legal documents, believing she's securing her children's future. Yet doubts begin to creep in, especially as Nina and Carly voice their concerns. Willow's internal struggle is emblematic of the soap opera tradition, a character torn between loyalty to loved ones and the instinct for self-preservation. As the pressure mounts, Willow may find herself reconsidering her decision, especially if Nina succeeds in exposing Drew's true motives. The possibility of regret looms large, and the outcome of this high-stakes drama remains uncertain. Will Willow stand by Drew, or will she heed the warnings of those who claim to have her best interests at heart? The power of secrets, blackmail, betrayal, and redemption. No soap opera would be complete without a web of secrets threatening to unravel at any moment. In Port Charles, blackmail and betrayal are currency, and every character is a potential double agent. Portia Robinson, for example, has her own reasons for wanting Drew out of the picture, even contemplating extreme measures to protect her future. Meanwhile, Drew's past with Nina is a ticking time bomb, one that could detonate with devastating consequences for all involved. These overlapping narratives create a tapestry of intrigue, where every revelation spawns new complications. The constant threat of exposure ensures that no character can rest easy, and the promise of redemption hangs tantalizingly out of reach for those who have strayed too far from the path. The anatomy of a soap opera, endless drama and cliffhangers. What makes this saga so compelling is its adherence to the classic soap opera formula, intersecting storylines, shifting alliances, and relentless cliffhangers. Each episode builds on the last, with new twists and turns keeping viewers on the edge of their seats. The emotional stakes are always high, and the promise of resolution is forever just out of reach. Characters are never purely good or evil. Their motivations are complex, and their flaws make them relatable. Even as they scheme and betray, there are moments of vulnerability and hope that remind us why we're invested in their journeys. The cyclical nature of soap opera storytelling ensures that every resolution is merely the prelude to a new crisis, keeping the narrative fresh and unpredictable. What lies ahead? Predictions and possibilities. As the dust settles on the latest round of betrayals and alliances, one thing is certain: the drama in Port Charles is far from over. With Nina and Carly now united against Drew and Willow's loyalties in flux, the stage is set for explosive confrontations and shocking revelations. Will Nina's desperate gambit succeed, or will Drew outmaneuver his adversaries yet again? Can Willow find the strength to chart her own course, or will she be swept up in the machinations of those who claim to love her? Next, we're diving deep into the tangled web of relationships, betrayals, and emotional showdowns that have rocked Port Charles, with a special focus on Carly Spencer's relentless quest to protect her family and the far-reaching consequences of her actions. The Emmy-worthy power of Laura Wright. Let's start with the magnetic presence of Laura Wright, whose portrayal of Carly Spencer continues to electrify every scene she inhabits. Wright's ability to oscillate between volcanic rage and raw vulnerability has made her a cornerstone of General Hospital and a perennial favorite for daytime Emmy recognition. Her recent performances, especially in the wake of Drew and Willow's affair, have showcased her mastery at conveying not only anger but also the self-doubt and regret that follow a heated confrontation. After unleashing her fury on Willow and Drew, Carly's introspective moments with Jack Brennan reveal a woman grappling with the fallout of her own words, a complexity that Wright brings to life with subtle glances and nuanced delivery. It's no wonder fans anticipate her name among this year's Outstanding Lead Actress nominees, recalling her previous win in 2011 as a testament to her enduring talent. You fit to pour Sether Den. From allies to adversaries. The Carly-Willow Rift. The breakdown of the once close bond between Carly and Willow is one of the most heartbreaking developments in recent Port Charles history. Carly, who once walked Willow down the aisle and embraced her as a surrogate daughter during Willow's estrangement from her biological mother Nina, now finds herself at odds with her former ally. The catalyst? A devastating betrayal and a string of choices that have left Carly questioning Willow's loyalty and fitness as a mother. Their relationship, once built on mutual support, has devolved into a bitter rivalry, with Carly's sharp tongue and emotional outbursts driving a wedge that may never fully heal. The drama is heightened by the tangled family ties, Carly's past with Drew, Drew's connection to Nina, and the ever-present shadow of Michael's suffering, making every confrontation charged with personal history and unresolved pain. Carly's lioness instincts, fighting for family at any cost. Carly's reputation as a mama bear is well earned. Her instinct to protect her children, especially Michael, has never been more pronounced than in the aftermath of his tragic accident. Michael's severe burns caused by a fire intended for Sonny and compounded by a near-fatal attack from Cyrus have left Carly in a perpetual state of high alert. With Michael recovering in a German clinic, Carly has transformed her grief and fear into a relentless campaign to shield him from further harm, both physical and emotional. Her confrontations with Drew and Willow are not just about betrayal, they're about reclaiming control in a world that feels increasingly dangerous and unpredictable. Carly's willingness to invoke Michael's injuries in her arguments, even accusing Willow of using his suffering as leverage, underscores the lengths she'll go to defend her loved ones, even if it means crossing ethical lines. Custody battles and unlikely alliances. The fallout from the affair and Michael's absence has pushed Carly to contemplate drastic measures, including petitioning for custody of her grandchildren, Wiley and Amelia. Her determination to remove them from Willow's care, citing Willow's relationship with Drew as evidence of poor judgment, signals a new phase in Carly's war for her family. To strengthen her case, Carly is rumored to be seeking help from Monica Quartermaine, a move that could shift the balance of power in this ongoing custody battle. With the legal expertise of Diane Miller on her side, Carly's strategy is as much about outmaneuvering her opponents as it is about genuine concern for the children's well-being. The stakes are high, and every decision is fraught with emotional and legal peril. Drew sits descent and Willow sips dilemma. Meanwhile, Drew's transformation from a sympathetic figure to a manipulative schemer has not gone unnoticed. His efforts to solidify his new family with Willow, including drafting guardianship papers that give him control over Wiley and Amelia, should anything happen to Willow, have raised red flags among those closest to her. Willow, already reeling from Carly's accusations and Michael's absence, finds herself questioning whether she's given Drew too much power. The specter of Drew's past, marked by prison time, violent confrontations, and shifting loyalties, looms large, casting doubt on his true intentions. As Portia and others begin to dig into Drew's history, the possibility of new revelations threatens to upend the fragile peace that remains. The ripple effects, Michael's ordeal and the family's future. Michael's ordeal has sent shockwaves through every corner of his family. His time in a German burn clinic, the debates over his medical care, and the emotional toll on those around him have become central threads in the unfolding drama. Carly and Willow, both struggling to do what they believe is best for Michael, find themselves at cross purposes, each convinced of their own righteousness. The uncertainty surrounding Michael's recovery and his ultimate choices, whether to remain in Germany or return home, add another layer of tension, as every decision has the potential to reshape the family's future. Invented insights. A deeper psychological analysis. Let's imagine for a moment the psychological undercurrents driving these characters. Carly's ferocity can be seen as a manifestation of unresolved trauma, her need to control every situation stemming from a lifetime of betrayals and losses. Her clashes with Willow are not just about the present, but are echoes of her own struggles with motherhood, loyalty, and trust. Willow, on the other hand, is caught between her desire for independence and her longing for acceptance, making her vulnerable to manipulation by those around her. Drew's actions, increasingly erratic, suggest a man desperate to carve out a sense of belonging, even if it means resorting to questionable tactics. Meanwhile, the children at the heart of this battle, Wiley and Amelia, become symbols of hope and innocence, their futures hanging in the balance as the adults around them wage emotional and legal warfare. The community of Port Charles, ever watchful, serves as both a Greek chorus and a crucible, amplifying every misstep and magnifying every triumph. Conclusion: the enduring allure of Port Charles drama. In the end, what keeps viewers riveted is not just the high-stakes drama or the intricate plotting, but the raw humanity that Laura Wright and her castmates bring to every episode. Whether Carly is lashing out in anger, wrestling with regret, or fighting for her family's future, she embodies the fierce, flawed, and endlessly fascinating spirit of Port Charles. As new secrets emerge and old wounds are reopened, one thing is certain: the story is far from over, and the next chapter promises even more twists, turns, and unforgettable moments.